If you're a first-time landlord, you may be unsure of what type of repairs you need to cover for your tenants. Or maybe you are the tenant and you don't know what repairs the homeowner covers and which ones are your responsibility. The last thing either party wants is to be surprised by an unexpected charge at the end of the month. Hi, I'm Madison with Good Life, and today we're going to talk about which repairs tenants are responsible for and which one landlords need to handle. Before we jump in, don't forget to give this video a like and subscribe to our channel for more awesome content like this. Let's begin with tenant responsibilities. Standard leases typically require tenants to cover basic maintenance. This includes things like changing light bulbs, HVAC filters, and water filters. If there is damage to the HVAC unit due to tenant's neglect, the tenant will be responsible for the cost of the repair. If the tenant rekeys the locks, they must cover the cost and provide copies of the new key to the landlord. Tenants are also required to keep the premises clean and sanitary. This means properly disposing of garbage and waste. They are also required to operate all electrical, gas, and plumbing fixtures in the way they were intended. If something malfunctions, they should notify the landlord or management company immediately. Some owners allow tenants to make minor repairs to the home and then deduct the costs from month's rent. At Good Life, we don't recommend this for a couple of reasons. First, there is a liability issue with having unqualified tenants do repair work on the home. They could injure themselves or further damage the property. Second, because of the lack of experience, they will likely perform unsatisfactory work. You'll end up having to do it yourself or hire a contractor anyway. Now, let's move over to the landlord's responsibilities. Generally, landlords are responsible for everything that is not stated in the tenant obligation section of the lease. They are responsible for keeping the property in habitable condition. Habitable conditions are defined as working plumbing, gas, and electric. Landlords should also keep appliances in working order. Some owners choose to list appliances as is, but this is not the best practice for appliances that are regularly used. For example, if the washer and dryer breaks down, it should not fall on the tenant to replace those items. If a tenant chooses to replace it, they will have to figure out where to store the old one. It's also a customer service issue. Tenants are not usually expected to replace major appliances. It's likely that they will be highly dissatisfied, which can result in uncooperative tenants. Additionally, they will probably take the appliance when they move out, leaving you with nothing but the broken appliance you started with. By replacing the appliance for them, you'll not only have a happy tenant, but you will add value to your home. Lastly, let's move on to our final issue, pests in the home. Responsibility can get muddled when it comes to pests. Certain pests can cause habitability issues, such as cockroach infestation, rodents, poisonous insects, or animals. When this occurs, it's on the landlord to send and cover pest control. Non-habitability issues usually fall on tenants, such as a few spiders or ants in the home. Tenants are encouraged to try household pesticides before requesting pest control. The landlord can pay for this if they want to, but be careful not to set the precedent that pest control will be paid for every time if the tenant sees an insect. If it's a multifamily property, it's best to have routine pest control service so all units are covered. If pest control is needed because of a defect in the home, such as improper seals or doors that don't shut properly, this is the landlord's responsibility. If it turns out that tenants were responsible, there were pests because the home is very unsanitary, the homeowner can try to collect funds from the tenants. Bed bugs are almost always a tenant responsibility because they tend to come in with the tenants or their mattresses. Termites, on the other hand, are usually the landlord's responsibility because it impacts the structure of the house. And that wraps up today's video. We hope this clarified what falls under landlord and tenant responsibilities. Remember, always review the lease when you encounter any issues. I'm Madison, and that's Olivia behind the camera. We'll see you next time.